All right, welcome everyone. This is part 3 of the Dash JavaScript SDK project. How's it going, Niles?
It's going great. I'm just trying to get all this Dash SDK stuff working.
Yeah, we've been looking at this for a little while before we started live, just to see if we could get the right dependencies installed and whatnot to start uh, thoroughly investigating how the SDK works and how to contribute to it if and when we get to that point. Um, we've run into a few snags already, and I just wanted to go ahead and go live just because I think that this is important to kind of document that it's not super straightforward how outside contributors can get started. So let's go ahead and Niles, are you ready to share your screen? And then that way I can kind of talk about what we've done already and where we're going with this. But just real quick before we do that, the high level here is this is part 3. So the first 2 parts, we basically kind of like looked over the JavaScript SDK that contacts the Dash platform. It's on testnet. Testnet is back up and running again now with some latest, greatest upgrades. So I wanted to test those as well. And now that that's, I think, stable. But yeah, the whole idea is that we have used this, the JavaScript SDK in several, with several other people. We have on the incubator a series of Dash platform walkthroughs. And in that series, I kind of realized that the Dash SDK is not completely performant, to say the least. So we've been looking into that. The first 2 parts, I think we ended our last stream by having a little table that showed how long each of the main function calls for like creating identities, things like that, how long each of those take. And we were seeing things up in the, seconds, even over 10 seconds in some cases. And so I'm just wondering where that's coming from. And part of this is also just understanding how the Dash SDK is architected. Like, what is it actually doing under the hood? I don't think that it's wise for only one organization in Dash, namely Dash core group, to understand how this works. So we're taking the time to investigate this. You, Niles, you're the guy that I want to have look into this, because you've got definitely a good understanding of several different languages and overall software architecture. So we should be able to get through this. But yeah, getting those first few steps is kind of a challenge sometimes. Without like being in the organization that created the tool. So us being the people that are trying to use the tool, we need to figure out how it works so that we can help improve the tool or make an alternative to it. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead now and share your screen. And the first thing that we look at always is the documentation. I'm a very big proponent of both writing good documentation and then also on the consumer side, making sure that we read the documentation that has been written so that we know, how does this thing work? How do we get started with it? And the first place to look for that is typically a contributing.md file. So we have looked at that. We have the Dash platform repository cloned and downloaded already, and it does have some contributing files in it. So if you could go there, Niles, and also the README, like the README, if there wasn't, sometimes there's not a contributing file, and so sometimes people will put it in the README itself. So let's look over those, make sure that we're not missing
This
anything.
one actually has something I didn't try, I guess.
Okay.
I did do core pack enable before, but if I do yarn setup, that might help with the link step that was failing before. So,
Okay.
so we're having this issue.
Well, before we go too far into actually digging into it, I do want to look at the contributing file, because that's the first most intuitive place that you would look.
Okay.
And
Do you want the global one or the JS SDK one?
Let's go with the global one at first, and just kind of look over that. And I'm going to ask you to kind of look over it to see, starting with this is a mono repo, meaning it's a repository that contains several other packages, the Dash SDK being one of those packages. So let's make sure that we have read all the general contributing guidelines, and then specifically after that, go into the JS SDK contributing file. And I'll let you kind of talk for a little bit about what you are seeing, what you're trying to do, and if you are able to do that, like what problems you're running into.
Yeah, so firstly, I'm on this version 1.1-dev branch right now. So this is referring to the current stable releases in master, and that's meant to be stable. You should only have bug fixes made to that. Otherwise, develop on the dev branch. And then, yeah, the body of the PR should follow the default PR template that appears when you open it on GitHub. Please fill in everything. And yeah, so here's conventional commits. This is how commits should look. We have code conventions, Airbnb style for JS code. And we have the tests.
I'm going to hide us so that the screen's a little bigger. Feel free to also increase the font if you think that's necessary ever. Just keeping in mind the viewers. Part of this is also, I want other people to know how to contribute to this. So if we get it figured out, like how to get the project running, building from source, whatnot, and running our own versions, I want that documented to both, in the video itself, like how we got through it, but also, just like documenting it as a pull request to the contributing one or more of the contributing files as well, or the README, wherever it's most appropriate. I'm not sure if we'll do that today, but it's something that we probably should.
Yeah, to me, it looks like in this contributing folder, it's not saying like how to get started with development. It's more so saying like, here's how the code should look. You should be developing on the develop branch. Here's what the commit names should be, or the PR title.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have code conventions, and then you should have tests. And then also it mentions squashing commits, which I think you can do on GitHub nowadays. When they merge it in, they should be able to squash it themselves, I think. But then, yeah, there's the pull request philosophy, which is a pull request could add a feature, fix a bug, or refactor code, but not a mixture. Please avoid super pull requests, which attempt to do too much, are overly large, or overly complex, as this makes review difficult. And then the project merge maintainers will decide whether to merge a pull request, and all pull requests must have a clear use case, fix a demonstrable bug, or serve the greater good of the project, have unit tests and functional tests, follow code style guidelines, not break the existing test suite, and where bugs are fixed, there should be unit tests demonstrating the bug and also proving the fix.
Yeah, so we haven't got to the point where we actually have the test suite running yet. That's part of the issue, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do off screen before we got started.
And then
now we're looking at the package specific for the JS SDK, which is our primary focus right now. And let's see what this has to say.
So these are also guidelines for contributing. So we have a code of conduct. We have style guides. And then
this is saying the same thing as it was saying up above, where we have commits that are structured and use a specific syntax. That's all good.
Yeah. And then issue and pull requests requirement. Yeah. So this doesn't tell us specifically how to get started contributing from the code perspective. This is more so the social human perspective,
right?
Like how to structure, a pull request name and what the comments should look like. Not really from the code side.
Yep.
So
now let's go ahead and review what we've tried, and the README, I guess, might have some other information for us.
So I should have, what version of Docker do I have?
So this is the README for all of platform, right?
Yeah.
Not just the JS SDK. It's just the JS SDK that we were primarily interested in first. So I don't know if we should need to be able to build all of platform. Like that seems like a big ask if we want to just contribute to the JS SDK.
Yeah, so it looks to me like this is for the Rust stuff. And so we shouldn't need to do that. We should only need to deal with the JavaScript stuff for today. So we just need TypeScript and JavaScript, I would think. And looking at the Docker file right here, you can see we got Alpine, and we're doing Rust stuff in here.
Yeah.
So
this definitely feels like more of.
There is some JavaScript stuff in here, though. Let's see. Yeah, here's Yarn Workspace's focus. Let me see. We have Platform Test Suite, we have Dappy, and Dashmate. It's being used in here. What we wanted to look at was the JS SDK. So it's copying it in, but I'm not sure that it's doing much else. It might just be using it just for the test suite. I guess it's copying it from here and moving it into here maybe. But anyways, that's what the Docker file says. I don't know if we're actually going to need to do something like that. But I tried to run yarn setup and yarn start. And we got a failure right here. So it's trying to do this. And we're getting an issue. Let me move that out of the way. So this build script is failing. Can I open this first of all? Let's go to the top. So it deleted this, and then we did docker run -v on this. And I'm not entirely sure what it's doing this for, but I see ts out and grpc-web. So, okay, it says permission denied while trying to connect to the Docker daemon socket. Okay. So, this is a permissions issue. And I wonder if what I need to do is give Docker the permission to just connect to that socket. Without running sudo, I should be able to do that. So this says I can create a Docker group and add my user to it. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Before we do that though, I'm just curious, like, do you think this should be necessary to, like, what's the goal with trying to, as I understand it, last time we were using the already built version by DCG of the Dash SDK, and we were trying to step through the code, and because it was transpiled code with all sorts of JavaScript promises that were not native language promises, it was hard to follow and step through the code so that we could figure out what it's actually doing and why it might be taking long. And so right now we're trying to let's just try to build and run the source code so that we can maybe step through the source code instead. Is that the idea, or what is your plan and purpose with going into the repo itself and going this direction?
Yeah, well, basically what you said. I'm trying to build it in the way that people who have developed platform build it, and it seems like they're starting it up in a Docker container. And one of the issues is, inside of this JS SDK, we have this package.json, and we have these dependencies. And these dependencies, so far as I can tell, some of them are in here, right? Or most of them, or all of them. So I see DAPI gRPC, DAPI client. That's probably these two. And so these things need to be linked up properly. And so I'm thinking that, this is how to build and set up a node from the code in this repo. So I cloned the repo. I have most of these.
And we don't want to set up a node though, right? Because we want to, I mean, maybe we do, but you tell me. Setting up a node is setting up the server side, the blockchain side of a, that's setting up the server side essentially. What we're interested in is the client side, which involves obviously the DAPI client. That's part of the SDK. It's one of the dependencies, but I wouldn't think that we should have to build a node.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like this is where.
Well,
I'm not sure. Your initial instinct was to just go into the JS SDK folder and then do npm install, right? And then you were expecting to get packaged JSON files and whatnot. npm install didn't work, and so we tried yarn. We tried pnpm.
Right. So yeah, yarn seems to be what it's actually configured for. We see all the yarn stuff in here. And so I was trying to do that, just do yarn. And we have a resolutions field will be ignored issue. And basically, like, we're not getting a node modules, which I think we need for something. I don't remember where I was seeing it, but yeah, let me open up the preview again. But yeah, if we go to dependencies, right, we see this.
Yeah.
And it's not really.
There was a contributing section there. We haven't looked at this, so let's look at this from top to bottom.
Okay.
This is the README for the JS SDK.
Okay.
Not the contributing. We already went through that. That was more high level social stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look at this in detail.
Sure.
I'll let you talk through it.
Okay, so I just want to read this because it's only 3 sentences.
Yeah,
Dash Library provides access via DAPI to use both the Dash Core network and Dash platform on supported networks. The Dash Core network can be used to broadcast and receive payments. Dash platform can be used to manage identities, register data contracts for applications, and submit or retrieve application data via documents.
Yeah, let me actually because part of this is also getting you up to speed on just what this whole ecosystem looks like. So just let me expound on that first paragraph. So the Dash SDK is supposed to be this like the all-powerful package that does all things Dash related. And all things Dash related means it can do things on the L1, layer 1 proof of work blockchain, as well as the L2, layer 2 proof of stake blockchain, which we call platform. And this Dash SDK is supposed to wrap all of that functionality into one easy to use SDK. Now, you and I have gone through doing stuff on the platform side. We haven't done much using the layer 1, just traditional payments or anything like that. But this SDK does both of those things. So that's what that first paragraph is saying, that it's, and then for both of those chains, it's obviously there can be different networks like testnet and mainnet, which Dash platform isn't supporting yet, but the L1 does, and local networks like a DevNet or local node setup. So that makes sense so far. We're good on that, right?
Mm-hmm. And then, so we have install via npm, which is what we had. This is what we were doing before in our last stream, and I think I have it right here. So we were inside of the first look Dash repository that you made.
Yep.
And
technically Anthony made it,
okay.
But this is a tutorial that uses the Dash SDK as a consumer in the application. So it would make sense that you're going to have a list of dependencies for your project, and the Dash SDK would be one of those things. So it would install the Dash SDK dependency, like it would install the Dash SDK and its dependencies. But what we're trying to do is something a little bit different, right? We're not using this in a project. We're trying to contribute to it.
Right.
And run the tests and make sure that our contributions pass the tests and so forth. So now getting back to this, it kind of looks like this documentation is more oriented so far in how you use this in your project rather than how you contribute to the project itself. So this is just a basic version of stuff that we've done, this tutorial stuff, primitives and essentials. This is good stuff to just know in general, but it still hasn't talked to us about developing on it yet.
Yeah, so we have dependencies. And I guess the contributing section is just this. Feel free to dive in. Open an issue or submit pull requests.
Okay.
And then it says more extensive documentation available here. But when we open this up, this is just usage stuff.
Yeah.
So this is how you can, unless I see something here, you install it from npm, initialize it, and this is how you do it in your.
This is all userland stuff, not developer trying to improve the SDK itself. So I just want to make sure that we don't have, the most embarrassing thing is when you when there's clear documentation that you just didn't look at because you didn't bother to look through it. But I'm just making sure that we have no shells unturned that make it obvious, like, oh, you have to run yarn to contribute to this project. So it doesn't look like we've seen any of that so far.
No, the piece that we did see was from the global README, and that's what I was trying to do. But you seemed like you thought maybe we shouldn't have to.
But maybe we do because of how it's structured as a mono repo. So I don't know. That's where I would kind of defer to your, your instincts on that.
So I want to try barking up this tree right here. I just got to run these commands, and that it will allow me to run Docker without sudo, and then I might be able to have that command work, and that might build it properly. So let me open up StreamYard here for a second. I'm gonna So we got hello from Docker. And it's still giving me permission denied. You can hear me now, right?
Yep.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That wasn't the solution. I was looking at the wrong thing. That's okay. So we got group Docker, and then we want to add our user to that, and then log into that. Now check that Docker can be run without sudo. Okay. So it works.
Yeah, you got Docker working properly. That's one step. There also is just I'll just say, just so that we look at this briefly before we get barking down a tree, that go ahead and open up. You can run that if you want. You're on setup. Okay, so this is doing the tests, it looks like.
It's telling me that it's not working again. Let me restart the terminal.
Okay.
Not working. Still says permission denied while trying to connect to this particular socket. All right, I need help. That's just giving me a list of things I can do. That's not what I needed. And let me look at this. So we got, this is where it's breaking for me. You know what? Let me make sure that I can run the hello world in here. Okay, so it's not letting me run it in here. Let me do that. Okay, so it's working now. Now let's do yarn setup. See what we get. Oh, we're getting way further.
Yeah, that's good. So this was just an issue of, like, you were using your VS Code. I assume that VS Code usually uses your default terminal, but was there an issue where it was using a different terminal or something? Because
yeah, the thing that I enabled so that I could run Docker in my current user without sudo, it wasn't working for this terminal that I have open right now. and I fixed that. So now it's working.
Okay. So this is building all the components of platform.
Yeah.
And I guess
Well,
there's
hopefully that includes the JavaScript SDK.
yeah,
Even if I'm doing some unnecessary work, I'd be happy with that.
sure.
If it works. What is this? I got a little warning symbol here.
Yeah. Build.sh
Okay.
is
Use Dash SDK.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So do we need a WASM DPP for that?
Yeah, I think so, because
Okay.
remember we were stepping through the code and we got into the assembly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably why we need it. At least as a dependency, yeah. So okay. It says done, but it didn't end the thing yet. Okay, we're doing something.
Can you scroll up to see if the SDK part had no warnings?
Looks like it. This is the SDK section.
Cool.
Got a bunch of green pluses. I'm taking that as a good sign. Yeah, these are just recommendations saying it's larger than it should be, but it's fine if it takes 100 seconds for me right now. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's see what we got. Oh, we're generating blocks. We're generating dash. Okay, we're doing a lot of things. I guess are we doing the test suite right now? I think
I
we
mean,
are.
we're done with the test suite. I think if it's generating blocks and stuff, then yeah, we're
Okay, stop core. Okay. So we just did
what
that.
command did you run to do all that?
That was yarn setup.
Yarn setup. Okay.
Yeah, so this was for this. How to build and set up a node.
I wonder how this compares to building and setting up platform nodes using Dashmate.
I wouldn't know.
Because I was going to have you open up in a browser. You can open up. See if you got it in your history. The AJC Web Dev, that one, and then go back into the URL bar and then add on a mate right there. Not a slash, but just a mate. First look dash mate. So this is how you would set up like a local development environment if you wanted to test the SDK on a local network. So this like uses Dashmate to start 3 different nodes, and that acts as a network so that you can then do like registering identities and all those things that we did in our tutorial, registering contracts, adding documents to contracts, all those kind of things. You can do that on a local network, even creating wallets.
Oh, okay.
You can do that just with your local network. And that's nice because sometimes there's issues with the testnet nodes. And so this way you're like guaranteed that your nodes are up and running and everything, and you're just contacting them. So this is a helpful tutorial. Again, on the usage side of using the Dash SDK, if we ever, so that's just a reference, just in case we we want to try doing that, because it looks like what we're doing with the yarn setup command, it looks like it's kind of doing the same thing, but just doing it for one node instead of 3 nodes, and it's doing it from source code instead of from using Dashmate.
Mm-hmm. Do you recognize what all this stuff is for?
Yeah, this looks like when it was doing the blocks and everything, like that's like, yeah, that these are tests, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we could look
That's
into
what it looked like to me. Let's see.
The code and see where these are coming from. But
packages, Dashmate, SRC, lister, tasks, register, masternode, task factory.
Yeah, so this is Dashmate. So this is the Dashmate package.
And this feels like a test. Let me see what this is inside. Register, masternode, task factory. So maybe it isn't? Yeah, maybe this is just like logging out what it's doing instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, we got something to work. So I want to see if now I can go in there and actually do what I was trying to do originally.
Okay.
So inside of this dash SDK. Okay. So we do have a build and a dist, which is from, I made a change. Remember, I put, okay, we actually have this in here now. That was not there before.
The environment file was not in there before. Okay.
These were empty.
Oh, they were empty. It was there, but they were empty. Okay.
Yeah.
So some part of the yarn setup command is doing lots of things here.
Yeah. So what I did, okay, it looks like this was turned back. What was the other thing? I made the dist folder, didn't I? Or did I not? I should have picked a random name that's not one that.
I would be surprised if you did.
Or did I do the build
create a dist folder?
Because we have dist and build now. So this is just dash.min.js.
Okay, so there's your dash SDK. Actually, yeah, there's your dash SDK minified and everything. And I'm assuming that.
Ooh, I'm lagging. Okay, I closed out of it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna not do that. My fan started going, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm asking the computer to do way too much work right now. Okay. So anyways, what I was trying to do, let's open up my package.json again. Right here. So yeah, we have the dependencies linked, hopefully. And so that means if I start trying these scripts, they should work. That's what I'm thinking. So we can do start dev, which is going to run a nodemon yarn run build and yarn run test. Or we could do start ts, which will. What is that one? I want to just look at that real quick. This is a special one. Oh, okay. I just remembered something. Okay. So yeah, this makes an outer, a declaration dir, source map true, declaration. What is this? Okay, just generate the d.ts files. Okay. So that's fine. And it's just an extension over this. So anyways, what I want to do is I want to change this target to ES6 and see the build on top. Because again, My problem was primarily the promise stuff being emitted in a version of JavaScript that doesn't have it. So it was being polyfilled like this.
Yeah.
So this is completely unreadable. And well, it's not just the readability thing, it's when I step through it, I can't tell when I'm going to actually go into client code from this because it's just all over the place. So anyways, so if I do tsconfig, bump it up to ES6 because I think ES6 would have the promises. I actually don't know.
So I would even suggest just going to the most latest version that you can, so that there's as little transpiling as possible, because when we're doing this development stuff, we're just trying to figure out what business logic is going on. We don't care about supporting different older versions of for the SDK.
Okay. So yeah, let's turn it up to ES 2023. And yeah, so I want to try to build it. So I'm going to consult this one more time before I just try a command. And we have this build TS script right here. So if I do yarn run build TS, okay. Also, that would be a part of yarn run build, which is going to do the Webpack thing. Let's just try this.
Okay.
Okay. So it didn't like that target. That's okay.
Maybe that's too bleeding edge.
Let's do that one. Okay. So we didn't get an error. What was that file I was looking at last time? Is there any way I can see my history? Was it wait? Okay, we got a promise.
Cool.
I think that's what we were looking for. I think we solved it. At the very least, like, you can read this.
Yeah, now it's easier to see. It's closer to source code.
Yeah. Like, there's a little bit of tomfoolery afoot, but mostly, you can still read what's going on. So that's good. So we accomplished something. Yay.
Yeah. And I would suggest maybe at this point, or maybe later, if you had something else in mind to do right now, maybe we could go back to what we were working on last stream,
Right.
By checking to see that table, like basically rebuild the table, see if that's still working, get our heads back into that.
Sure.
We were trying to, our ultimate goal here is figuring out why is it taking so long to do certain calls, certain platform functions.
Well,
and so we made that.
There was the one thing,
all of them,
where you had that hunch. I don't remember if we covered it since we started streaming, but you had the hunch that if we switch out the adapter for the storage.
Yeah, the storage adapter.
I forget where that is.
It's in the client. Let's see, where do we create our client?
Okay, I'm in First Look Dash. We're in. Go in here. Sorry, everybody. We haven't really looked at this in
it's been 2 weeks.
A little bit. Yeah.
More actually, I think. Go to /API/client. Up. There you go.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Okay, so yeah, so I installed this node local storage library, and it's a pretty simple one. I might be able to click and go into it. I'm not able to do that. But what are we? Node local storage. Here it is. So we got it right here. And last time I looked at it, I thought it was pretty simple, but here it is. Yeah, it's just going to open up like some files and just do temporary file storage this way. We also saw a few weeks ago that Node.js actually added the ability natively to use a local storage construct. So conceivably, we could do better than this now with more of a native implementation for new Node.js, if I'm understanding correctly. But yeah, it's only 360 lines. It doesn't look like it's doing too much just at a glance. It just looks like it's writing to a file, which I think we actually saw the file.
We did, yeah.
Here,
We opened it
in here,
up.
right? So it's just storing this, and it just wraps like the read sync and the write sync and that stuff. So it's pretty simple, I think. And then so yeah, so this was the code from the library side. Let me see, what tab am I even in? Am I over here? Why is that not highlighted? That would be way easier to tell what's going on if it was. Okay, so let's just keep that over there. And then this is just like a little wrapper that we wrote that would map to the storage just to make sure that the stringify was being called. This might happen automatically, I don't know, but yeah, just to be safe, we were doing that. And yeah, so we used the adapter, and what we found is dramatic speedups in the last stream. And then the last thing we did, I had AI generate most of this, although I made sure that these didn't get changed by the AI. But yeah, we just made a little command which would test out the different things, test these out, and then make a little table of how fast each one was. And we encountered a couple of errors because things were not running in the correct order, and Ryan had ideas for how to fix it because you know the order that stuff should be done in. So we could start doing that if you want. But yeah, what else?
Do you have a text file or records of the last time that we ran it somewhere? I mean, we have it on video, I guess, but I would say let's just run it again and then see what it does, just to get our heads back into what we were doing.
Just looking at this. Yeah, so I could just run it. I did save it somewhere. It's either going to be on Discord or it's going to be in my gists, the GitHub gists, but we can also just run it.
And then let's check and see which we're already getting errors.
Okay. Let's stop it for a second.
Registering contracts.
So this is another example of generator stuff that we don't want. So what we could probably do, now that I have it compiled, is we could try to, well, yeah, we could install that dash package using a local link. I've actually done this before, not in a long time, but I actually have done this. So let's uninstall the dash npm package.
Yes.
And then install the local one that I just compiled.
I was gonna suggest that anyway, because we definitely don't want the RC2 version anyway. The latest version, I think, is if you go over to the go to npm and look at dash there, and let's see what the latest. See, that was 2 weeks ago when we were last working on this, and I think that we have like a.
It says 17 days ago
version.
Or no, last published 3 days ago. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a versions tab.
What is up with that? So this is published. Okay, maybe it's just like the stable.
4.0.2. Yeah, defaults to stable, but there are others.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, let's uninstall.
But you're suggesting going further and saying we're not even going to install a version from npm. We're going to install the version that we have locally built,
Right.
or locally on file.
Right. Sorry, my phone went off. I'm just gonna silence it real quick, or just put it on vibrate. Also, I'm keeping tabs on the Discord still. Okay, so yeah, we want to uninstall. Yeah, we should be able to just do npm uninstall dash. Okay, I deleted it. Perfect. Now we want to npm install based off the local thing. Now I don't.
Sorry, what did you delete? I was looking away for a minute.
I just did npm uninstall dash. So we just got rid of that.
Should we get rid of our package lock and all that stuff as well? The npm, the node modules as well.
I think it should be fine because I did uninstall through npm. So I didn't just just run delete through my operating system. I did it through npm. So I think it should be fine. I mean, we could reinstall all this stuff if you want, like just the package.json stuff. We could reinstall it, but I don't think that it's necessary.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. Now I haven't done this in a while, so I want to look it up. How to npm install from local source. It's that easy, huh? Well, there's npm link in the local module directory to npm link. Okay, yeah, I remember doing that. In the directory of the project, use the module. Package name. Okay, and yeah, we can just do this if we use relative paths, I guess. Let me see. Keep in mind that npm link will create a second instance of external dependencies. Okay, yeah. We're fine with that though. Okay, let's try it. Let's try npm link and then a local path. So first of all, what path are we trying to get to? We're trying to get here, platform packages JS SDK. And then we're in here. So npm link. And this is, yeah, this is go up one, and then that should be it. Before I run that, let me just do LA. Yep. Okay. So I think this is going to work. Okay. We're doing a thing. My fan is turning up.
Good.
My computer is hard at work right now. We're doing something very difficult, I guess.
This link shouldn't be that difficult.
You wouldn't know, Ryan. It's hard. It's really hard. Okay.
I guess it might be doing a lot of stuff actually, now that I think about it. I don't know.
I did see this update, so I don't think it's frozen. I'm not going to kill it. I'm just going to wait. Okay. Amazing. Only took 1 full minute, but you know what? If it works, it works. Now, did it go in here or what? Was it? It's supposed to go in here, I believe. All right, let's try the two-step method. So we just run npm link in here. Okay. I don't have to own it to do this, right? I shouldn't have to. npm link. Okay. And then npm link package name when we want to use it. Package name happens to be dash. Come on. There is a lot of tree traversing that's going on right now. It is really, really going deep on the trees and the dependencies.
Well, there are a lot of them.
All right. I still am not seeing anything that's updating in here. Isn't it supposed to? Let me look. I thought that was a slam dunk. I don't know. Did it work or did it not work? I'm not really getting anything. Maybe I need to do something else. I want to install it locally. Well, okay, maybe I should just do this. npm install. Oh, not in here. In here. All right. We're going to look at the supermassive tree one more time. And then hopefully we're done.
Okay.
In another 60 seconds. And then I think there would be a link in here. Yeah, you see that red? Contains emphasized items. Okay, we got it.
Nice.
So this should be a symlink, I think. Can I view that? Oh yeah, look, there's a little arrow. It's a symlink. Amazing. Let's go.
Well done.
All right. So that should make it way easier to deal with. So now I don't have to read super convoluted transpiled code. That's impossible to read.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so what were we trying to do before?
Well, we were trying to do a few different things. We were going to run the table.
That was way faster too. Look at that.
We don't have our adapter on now. Or did we? Let's see.
We don't?
Well, it's giving us that warning of running on a Node.js environment without a specified adapter.
Didn't somebody fix that last time?
Not in the source code.
Running on.
So we would need to look at
what did we do to fix that last time? I don't remember.
Say again.
What did we do to fix that last time? I don't remember.
You have to give the client an initialization object with a, so it's in your other repo. If you flip back to that.
This one?
And now it's in the first look at Dash repo.
Yeah, we were in this
Client.js.
Client.js.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're telling me that the script is probably just initializing it.
But the script was doing some things that I don't remember because it was trying to do it with the adapter. So maybe I'm just jumping the gun here.
Yeah, let's just start out without the script, and let's just try to get the one thing working that we were trying to do last time. So that was the register contract, right? Let's look at this code.
But part of the table was actually supposed to have one of the options that wasn't using the storage adapter. So maybe I prematurely.
Yeah, so this one is running it's running from here. Oh, you know what? There's also the address, but that should be recorded already in here. Unless last time I was passing that in separately, which might have been what was happening. Do I even have the history for that? What command would I have run? Can I look at the last time I ran node? Apparently not. Oh, there we go. This is what I was trying to do last time. Cannot find module DAPI client. Really now? So did something go wrong when we compiled this? So this is inside a platform, packages, JS SDK, build SDK, SDK.js. So this is supposed to map to the DAPI client that's local to Dash SDK. But actually, oh, you know what?
What?
We want to do a Webpack build. That was the other step that the other command did. So let's do that. Because what I'm referring to here, this is what I ran. I ran just this, which is here, which is this. So I ran this, but I didn't run this.
Oh, okay.
So we can try that. And that might bundle all the stuff in. Maybe. I mean, that's my guess. Okay. I'm going to mute myself again. Okay. Now we are undertaking the arduous task of installing Webpack, because actually I don't typically use that. So we are unpacking a heck of a lot of code right now. All right. So now when I run it, now we get a different error. That's amazing. So what's the problem now? If it's not a validation error, then throw. Cannot find Terser Webpack plugin. Well, why not? What do you want me to do about that? Okay, let's Google that one. It's not telling me what to do, so. Yeah, you know what? These kinds of issues, this is what it normally is, right? Like you install a package and it's like, well, with this version, you don't have to install it. But then you actually kind of do because there's something else that depends on it. And so to me, I'm like, you know, cutting out those 60 lines of code for like, just keep it in there. Like, come on. You know, like, yeah. Okay. So what's the problem? Sorry, my brother came in. He was just picking up some stuff from the garage. Okay, so we have an answer. We can polyfill that, I guess. Or not polyfill, but put it in manually. Why are we getting an error here, though? Oh, it's just catching it there. The error is actually happening somewhere else. Yeah, right here. Terser Webpack plugin. Can't find it. So can I just install this? What? So this is a global install. And it's saying it can't find it. If I open this, what is this? This is a types file. Do we have a non-types file? Yeah, we have actual code in here, right? We have actual code in here. So why does it not see it? Why does it not see it then? It says we can't find. Let me go back to Google. What happened to my stuff? Okay, so first of all, what version of Webpack do I have? Let's start with that. So I should be able to do -v and see the version. Okay, so this is 4.43.0. And probably this documentation should tell me what version of Webpack I need, right? Not really. I don't think that it tells me. Let's do a Control F for Webpack. It says upgrade Webpack. Okay, 5.76.1. I'm on an older one. That's a really old one. So let's try to get a newer one. Okay. Awesome. Let's get started. So I don't want setup yet. I want install. Do we not tell people how to install nowadays or what?
That's the big problem.
Do we just say, is it just npm install? Can I do that or what? How to install? Because I don't want to make any more assumptions. I mean, the first assumption I made is that I could do npm install, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
So can I just do npm install webpack? Probably I can do global installation or what? Yeah. I could also do this. But would I do this in here or would I do this in the global one? Because I might even have it in there already, right? Okay, so this is the registry. Okay, so yeah, it's saying 5.76.1, and I saw that version before. Okay, so this is inside of what? This is DAPI client. Do I have another one of these? Okay, I don't want the Karma Webpack, but WalletLib, Wasm DPP, Babel. Oh wait, here's the workspace star. That might be the right one. And then we have the Terser one. So it looks like someone else solved that problem that we just ran into. And yeah, so I need to run Webpack from, I should have a local installation of it already, right? In here, I should have it. So it's weird to me that it didn't grab it already. I even have, yeah. So how am I supposed to do that? I haven't done this before. So I already have Webpack in my local. I have it locally installed. How to run locally installed Webpack. I apologize to everyone who knows how to do that already, but I just have not done that.
Everybody's moved off of Webpack by now. Oh, except for us. I'm just kidding. Not it's. Oh, I'm sure a lot of projects are still using Webpack.
What is it? 2016. It's also linked in there. Oh, but then it should have worked the first time, right? Maybe this one is not in my path. Maybe that's what's happening.
Oh boy.
Okay. Did I move this up or what? I'll move this to the side. Oh, it's because I'm full screen. Okay. So let me look at my path. We got a whole bunch of stuff in there. I like how it says no such file or directory. So in here, do I have npm or no? node modules. Whoa. I need a newer version of Node. That's interesting. Okay. Let's get a newer version of Node. What do you want? 18.17? Okay. What version am I on? I'm on an ancient version, apparently. I should be able to do... I think I was using NVM before. No?
Maybe Webby.
Webby?
If AJ was with us, he would have
do that.
had you do 8.
Yeah, let's do Webby.
Yeah.
Node. Okay. Okay. So it said there was a possible conflict. So let's see if it worked. Okay, it gave me the newer one. So as long as it grabs the newer one first, then we're good. And let me open a new one just to see. Yep, there's a conflict there. So where is that one? Is this from Webby right here? I think I just need to update the link, right? Because this is a link, I think. Oh yeah, that didn't help me, did it?
I like your /home/Niles documents GitHub poop directory.
Yeah, that's Andrew Kelly's performance optimization something project.
Uh-huh.
So that's what that is. It's a profiler, or it will tell you like how many instructions were run and like how many branch misses.
Oh, so poop stands for like performance optimizing profiler or something.
Performance optimization observation.
Yeah, he definitely made that up to make the acronym poop.
Yeah, I actually watched the stream where he was working on it. Kind of funny. But yeah, it shows a little display like this in your terminal, so it's kind of nice. But anyways, okay, how do I see where symlink points? How to see where symlink points? I apologize, people. I'm not a Linux master per se, so I can use read link. Oops. Read link -f. What? Does it point to itself? That can't be right? Unless that's an accident. It runs when I execute it directly. Is it not a symlink? Is it a real thing? How do I know? Can I... There's going to be an ls option I can use for sure, but I just don't know what it is. So I want to know... want to know, like, is something a folder or a file or a symlink? That's what I want to know. So can I do -A? And I want to know. Okay, so I can do -D for the directories, but I should also be able to do Okay, well, it doesn't matter for now. Let's just not go down this. It doesn't matter. I got node in this terminal. That's fine for now. So all right. I could probably just drop that as the first part of my environment. So I'm just going to keep that in a file for now. Just so I don't forget it. Okay, let me go pee real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. You were supposed to do that before the stream.
I did, but we've been going for a while now.
I know. Okay.
All right, you hear me?
No.
I think you do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay, so the ls -l command would have done that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just want to fix that right now, I guess. So node JS points to node. Node, is that a real executable right there? How to list executable files in Linux that are not symlinks. Finder executable. I know I could have just not used grep, but yeah, is this? Yeah, I'm not going to do that, I guess. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what were we trying to do? We were trying to see the Webpack issue. But yeah, I wanted to run local Webpack because it's throwing this weird error now. Now it's not seeing a different package. So that means progress. Okay, so yeah. This is erroring on Webpack version for some reason because of the node internal modules loader. I think this probably is still because of that issue. So can I just put this in my path real quick? My path should be from the bash RC or whatever. Like that. No. Well, we're going to LinkedIn. Yeah, it should be here. Go to the home directory. Is that what it's under?
I'll be back in 10 minutes. Do you want to, before I leave, actually, can you zoom out for a little bit and let me know what you're working on right now and what your main goal is here?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the newer version of Webpack, which we're supposed to be using, so that I can make JS SDK with that.
So you can make JS SDK with Webpack.
With the newer.
So in other words, you have to create a build of the JS SDK, even though you've got the source code files right here, but were they not linking properly, or what? What was the issue?
So we couldn't find this.
Right.
I'm trying to run that Webpack command.
So
that
why couldn't we find that though? -evo dappy client, we have the source code for. Is that not? That's not good enough.
So yeah, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that it's bundled together, because this require is not pulling it from that other folder. Now, I mean, maybe I could maybe I could try to do like an install in here and just install that file in here. But would that actually work? I'm not sure. It is. I mean, yeah, it's something we could try. It's like what I'm talking about is I could do the npm install and then a directory here if I were to link those other ones. But
I'm just wondering if we're barking up the right tree here in general. We've got the local file linked, but all of its dependencies is the issue, right? I was kind of Well, yeah, keep working on this. I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes, and hopefully that will work.
okay, so we got this. And yeah, I think I commented out the Linux brew stuff for anyone who was watching some of my older streams where we saw that Linux brew was corrupting it. Yeah, I guess you can see how that happened now. But yeah, so I tried to undo that. So let's, okay, we're in an insert mode. So export path equals, and then what was the path? Do I have it in my thing? Where's my browser? This one. Oh, whoa. That's not what I wanted. I don't know what I just did. So let's X out and not save it and go back. Okay. Try again. Export path equals that. And I didn't even check before doing this if that's even the right thing to do. Okay. I'm not sure that actually is going to make sense because what we actually need are these. That is assuming that it's not dropped in automatically. What is happening when I do Control V? Is that just down? Okay. I feel like that should have already been in here, but whatever. Let's X out and save it and write it. And when I open up another one, it still gives me the wrong one. What the heck? Is it because user/bin/node is genuinely an executable or what? Okay, let's just, yeah, I see this one here. So let's just try to update the symlink. Okay, let's just try to do that. Update symlink. Okay. ln-s. symbolic link router points to the config directory. And let's point it in here. What does that mean? Oh, I did ls. It should be ln. Failed. It already exists. That's the point. Did I get the order wrong? Oh, I have to delete the other thing. Permission denied. Delete it. Hopefully that wasn't a directory, right? Well, I did -r, so who knows? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go back. There we go. Okay, we're back. So, everybody can still see me, hear me? Amazing. So we got Node, we got Webpack, maybe. Webpack is erroring something. It's not even printing the version. So what I was saying before is that we should have Webpack locally in here. Webpack sources, Webpack npm, Webpack CLI, all this stuff. We have Webpack stuff in here. So because remember, what I was trying to do is inside this packages, inside here, I wanted to run Webpack, this. That's what I wanted to run, okay? And right now, Webpack is erroring at literally everything I do. So where is Webpack? Okay, so can I do ls -s or ls -l? Okay, so it's pointing to share Webpack bin, right? And it says 2021. So that looks kind of ancient. So it might just be a faulty Webpack install. Maybe. Probably not. But Does anyone have any better ideas? Because I don't. Okay, so first of all, I did install it using apt-get, right? Okay, so I want to do apt-get remove webpack. So let's do that. And then when I run webpack, right, webpack, then I want to try to do it like this. And it's still not running. And it's not running because the path that it installed it in is not in my path. That's why. So how do we do that? So I want to see the bin of some kind. Is there a bin? No bin? So I want to know where it installed it. Let's see if this helps. See, but if I do npm bin, that doesn't exist. Okay. You know what? We're doing npx webpack. That's what we're doing now. You know why? Because it's easier. Watch me not even have npx. Yes. Okay, yeah, so it wants it. What? Okay, so Webpack should be where? What the heck? One second. So all right. So
How's it going?
hello. Honestly, I'm not sure how to make it run the Webpack that I want. So I install it. But it's not letting me actually run it when I do that. So let me type that. Okay, so npm install. So, there we go. Right. So I don't have node modules because we're using Yarn. So it's supposed to be dropping it into somewhere. If I just know where it was dropping it though. Okay, let's look at where does npm global install put files. I have Webpack in here. Okay. So I want to know where it's located. Can I run it from here? Yes, I want to install that. Webpack CLI. I think the D is the same. But I need to be global. Yarn global install. Yarn global add. I'm not making progress right now. Consider using Yarn DLX. I don't understand what the problem is. Is this coming from the installation process itself or what? Okay. Do I just add this to my path? Is that the problem? Why can I not run this? So I'm trying to install Webpack, okay? And it's not working for me, right? I do npm install -g Webpack, right? And then how do I, for some reason, there's something that's not in my path, and so it's not working. So why are npm globally installed packages not being found? Didn't I have a page open that would tell me how to do this? Okay. So if I did that, right? If I did this and I do Webpack, what does that do? It's a directory. /bin. I'm sorry to whoever's watching this, if anyone's watching this. I don't know. I don't know what to do. You guys got any suggestions here? I don't know why I cannot get it to just npm install globally. And run it. So I do npm install. What is this? It's your global bin. npm bin doesn't exist. They took it out or something. So somewhere, something messed up my path, and I don't understand why. Let's do echo. What? 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 Okay, that looks more reasonable. That looks more reasonable. Oh, okay. We did a thing. We did a thing. All right. So let's.
I showed up just in time. I don't know if you noticed, but my computer crashed, and I'm glad it didn't crash everything. So, you think you did a thing? What's up?
I couldn't get it to run Webpack, and then I just X'd out of that terminal and started up a new one because, okay, I think what happened was I did a path appending to the front, and there was an error, and so it put an error in my path thing. And so, anyways, that's gone. So now, if I open this up and I do Webpack, but let's make sure we get the real command we're supposed to run, which is this. Okay. What the heck? Wait, it was... Okay. Can we... So it's not working in here, but it's working in here because it's a different directory. Because in my path, there's something that's looking... It's looking in a local folder from the path. So that's why when I change, it's not going to work, right? So it's probably looking somewhere. And then when I go in, it's not working because this is pulling from the global one that for some reason can't find itself. The Webpack CLI can't find it. I'm honestly about to just reinstall my operating system, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't understand what could have been messed up, but there's some issue here. Okay, so where is it coming from? We have cache unplugged. That's all I got. So let me look at the path. Let's echo the path. And there's going to be one of them in here. It should be like yarn node modules. No. Okay, do we have a local one of these? Bin, sbin, user local sbin. None of those are relative, I think. So, I honestly don't know. I honestly have no idea why. When I run it here and I say Webpack version. What the heck is this? It's telling me my operating system and my processor.
That looked successful.
Okay, I mean, it's doing that, but then when I go in, okay, so when I do Webpack version, it prints out the version of all that stuff for some reason.
That's just Webpack CLI decides to give you everything.
Okay.
But Webpack must be working.
When I go into packages and I go into JS SDK, and then I do this, okay, it still works.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I do Webpack and I want the stats error details for some reason, then it says failed to load the config file because it cannot find Webpack. And it can't find Webpack in here.
So it looks like it's looking for a local Webpack, and it's not it doesn't look like it's trying to respect a global Webpack.
This is where it is, though. It says it can't find it. Does it not have permission? That couldn't be it, right?
And if you just do Webpack,
yeah, so it's not even in the sudo space. So it's not even going to find it. All right, let me do where is Webpack. Oh, I have two right here.
what about sudo where is Webpack? Does that tell you anything?
I have this one, and then I have this one. But that's a directory. Okay, so we don't want that. We want this one. Yeah, I can't find it. Okay, well, I'm going to have to give up on this one for now.
Yeah.
I'm going to just like try to reinstall my OS because there's something that was messed up and I honestly cannot find where the mess up is. I will try to search a little more to see if I can find there's a configuration that got messed up somewhere, but I don't want to spend another 2 hours doing that right now.
Okay. Well, we got our head back into the space at least. Been a couple weeks, so it took a while to get back in. We made some progress with getting it built.
We got it built. We got it linked in here, but we want to get it all bundled in. And I need to get Webpack to work, and I didn't get Webpack to work for some reason. So we're gonna do that, and it's just I'm just gonna spend some time off stream, just like fixing my operating system.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I'll just reinstall it, and then we can just reload the stuff in, and it'll just work perfectly. But
okay, all right. Well, let's see. Let's go back to us here for a minute. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll get down to the bottom of this at some point. At least, getting from 0 to 1 is always the hardest part. So
yeah, we're almost there.
We're getting there. So
yeah.
We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.